Hey everyone, Tom Pounder here, and welcome back for another episode of the Family Chit Chat. This month, we're starting a whole new series on obedience. Obedience is trusting those who lead you by doing what you're asked to do. Well, as we get into today's story, I want to ask you this question. Children, when you break your mom or your dad's rules, your parents' rules, do you get in trouble, or do they give you a pat on the back and say, good job? No, you're probably going to get in trouble. And the same goes with your parents. When they broke the rules back in the day with their parents, they probably weren't told good job. There were some consequences and they got in trouble for doing that. And I got in trouble when I broke my parents' rules. And so it's important to obey our parents. Well, today's story ties directly into obedience, and we're going to look at Adam and Eve. And this is not a great story for us. In fact, it's a very sad story because of what Adam and Eve chose to do. So what I want you to do right now is to pause the video, read the scripture, and answer these few questions. And then when you're done, press play and we'll continue from there. But I want you to see what Adam and Eve were told to do and then what they chose to do, and what were the aftermath, what were the effects of what they chose to do. All right, pause the video right now. Again, this is a sad story for a few different reasons. One is because they were told specifically what to do and what not to do. But they chose to disobey God, and they ate of the fruit. And what that disobedience caused was a barrier between them and ultimately us, all of humans, and God. Because we chose to disobey God and not listen to Him. And because of that, Adam and Eve had to suffer some consequences. They were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, this beautiful, wonderful place they were kicked out of, and they had to go make life on their own. But it makes me wonder so many different times, what if Adam and Eve had just followed God's commands? What if they had listened to Him and not disobeyed? Would things have been different? I bet you they would have been. But Adam and Eve thought that their way was better, and that what they were told they would get would be better than what God would provide for them. And our bottom line really is this week, I should trust and obey even when I think my way is better. There are going to be times in our lives when we think our way is better, but the people above us, whether it's our employer or whether it's our parents or whether it's our teacher, they're going to tell us a different way, and we need to trust and obey them. And the same thing applies with God, is that I need to trust and obey God even when I think that my way is better. God knows better. I want to encourage you today to trust and obey God, to trust and obey your parents, to trust and obey your teachers, even when you think your way is better, and see what kind of great things can happen because you trusted and you obeyed. And the Bible verse we're looking at all month long directly applies to this trusting and obeying. It's found in Hebrews 13:17. Trust in your leaders, put yourselves under their authority. Do this because they will keep watch over you. So I want to encourage you, not just today, not just tomorrow or this week or this month, but to put obedience into practice. And what does it mean for you to trust and obey people in authority over you? And really, what does it mean to trust and obey your parents and God this week? I want to encourage you to do that and really think through how you can be obedient and trusting of them no matter what. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next week for an all-new lesson.